Alright, what's going on everybody? So today we have the chapter 337 spoilers for My Hero Academia. Now coming off the bombshell of a chapter that we had last week, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next. And from what I've seen already, Invisible Girl's face is revealed. But we'll just have to dive into these spoilers and find out for ourselves. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the chapter begins on the villain's side with Dabi saying that the other students' knowledge of who the traitor is would be bad for them in the long run. All For One says no and compares the situation to a $5 lighter, asking if anyone gets sad when the lighter stops working. If Aoyama and his parents succeed, then that's great. If not, it's on to the next plan. Because as we know, All For One has very meticulously planned for pretty much any scenario. He ends up saying that they are nothing more than disposable tools. Cut to the forest and the parents of Aoyama are trying to carry him away, trying to take him away from the area. Meanwhile, he cries and remembers his past when he was a baby, being raised with all the joy and care in the world. Aoyama imagines his parents must have been sadder than himself for not having a quirk, so they listen to the rumors. At this time, we see a black panel showing two people. One of them says, "It seems that there's a guy who is able to give other people quirks." The quirk he received was not compatible with his own body, but his parents did their best to provide equipment for him that would help him use it. He was excited to start pursuing the dream that he's had ever since he was a little kid, but that's when All For One started giving orders. All Might is going to become a teacher at UA. Let me know when the class will be isolated from the rest of the school. Tell me the location of the training camp. Now that Izuku Midoriya has returned to UA, make him act on his own again. Aoyama then says, after reading Deku's letter and discovering that he was also quirkless, he fell into despair. He continues crying and tries to shoot lasers at Midoriya, but Hagakure reflects them. She asks how he would have felt if everyone in the classroom had died. We can also see a bit of her face in this panel too, and she seems to be crying, which maybe that's the key to revealing her body. I mean, I don't know, maybe she has to get emotional, or at least to the point where she's worked up like she is now, and then her quirk will start to deactivate. The parents try to go up to Deku and explain their side of the story, but end up getting restrained with Black Whip. He says that Hagakure acted so that he wouldn't hurt anyone else, so he starts asking him to stop this once and for all. Deku is also crying at this point. Of course. Cut to a classroom where Aoyama and his parents are tied to a chair in front of Nezu, All Might, and Tsukauchi, as well as other teachers. They analyze the situation, estimating when the quirk must have been given to him, assuming that it must not have an explosion mechanism like Lady Nagant's. He says that he would like the students to leave, and we see a panel of them showing a shocked Class 1A saying that they won't leave. Ojiro wonders what would have happened if Hagakure hadn't found out, and Kirishima screams in disbelief, asking Aoyama to say it's all a lie. Bakugo says that he didn't expect to meet another former quirkless guy who received a power from someone else. The world is really small. Tsukauchi asks them to reveal everything, including all the information that they know about AFO, but the father says that they don't know anything. They just received the quirk and were following orders. All For One even showed them corpses so they'd understand what would happen if they failed or lied to him. Aoyama then starts saying that because the classmates he had to kill were so nice to him, he ended up having to act that way to get closer to everyone. After reading Deku's letter and finding out the truth about his quirk and his fight against All For One, he despaired at his own misery. And then he despaired again when he realized that the first thing he thought of was himself, not what it meant for Deku. He ends by saying that Yuga Aoyama is a villain with every fiber of his being, that even his soul is rotten. Deku shouts out that if that were really the case, he wouldn't have tried to save Tokoyami and Bakugo at the training camp. He also wouldn't have written that message in the cheese, which was actually an SOS call that Deku himself didn't realize at the time. He goes on to say that Aoyama is not crying now because he failed to obey All For One, but rather he does not want to betray his friends. He says that he met a hero who, even though she had her heart used by All For One, did not give up on helping other heroes to reach their goal. No one should ever call themselves a villain for the rest of their lives for a single crime. Deku holds out his hand and asks Aoyama, "Take it. You can still become a hero." End of chapter. Man, what a chapter. Definitely an emotional one. I think from the reveal of Hagakure's face to Deku ending up having to restrain Aoyama and his parents using Black Whip to that end line, "You can still be a hero." My favorite part out of all of that was definitely getting to see the inner thoughts of Aoyama as he was going through this whole process. If you were in his shoes, you'd probably despair way more than he was. Being faced with such a grave situation with almost no escape probably made Aoyama feel like he could go to no one. And he honestly couldn't, because if he told anybody and that information leaked, his parents could die. But anyways guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did and you want to see more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 100 subscribers, which is a milestone that I really want to hit. Thank you for watching once again. I'll see you guys in the next one.